Hello, everybody. Welcome to Echo Underground. I'm Shanique.
This is Mike.
And on this podcast, we talk about music, movies, and any other interesting topics. Today's episode is going to be about the new movie, Ready Player One, where I don't know who stars in it.
Yeah, a lot of movies we don't know who starred in, so that's not a big deal for us.
It's directed by Steven Spielberg. They made sure you know that.
Yeah, he's the real star here.
He's a real star. No one cares about other people in the movie. But, so, general plot, basically this creator named Holloway, right? Holiday. He creates this virtual world. And then he dies. And he leaves basically a treasure in it, aka Easter egg, where they have to find it, and whoever finds it, they get control of the virtual world. Mm-hmm. And I think $500 billion.
Yeah. That might explain the size of this virtual world as well. Like, this is like the new economy now, which is kind of strange, but that's how big video games get in 2045.
Yeah, basically, and don't worry, we're not even in the spoiler section because all this is from the trailer. But basically, the real world kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So everyone goes to the Oasis, even though that's a lot of electricity. Just saying, if you really think about it. So it's crazy because they have trailers and stacked on top of each other and all this stuff. They're like, this really sucks. So you know what? We're gonna go in a virtual world. We can do all this stuff, have all this fake money, sort of real money, and be who we want to be. Now, and then basically goes into people are racing to get this treasure. That's basically the premise of the movie. Excuse me. So my grading for this movie, without giving anything away, we will later. But the good parts, I'm gonna give this a solid 8. I enjoyed the movie all the way through. I didn't have any big enough issues where I was like, you know what, fuck this movie. Nah, I didn't have any of that. The good, I liked all the characters. I don't think that there was not really anything to blow you away by acting particularly, but this movie didn't need that.
Yeah,
the story sold, the actors and the story worked so well. You didn't need real big acting moments. The characters, I love the look of the virtual world. I was also very surprised that most of this movie was animated.
Yeah,
that surprised me as well. The soundtrack was really good. Obviously, the director, which is kind of weird to say because you're directing animated things, but whatever. Everything worked for this movie. I don't have any cons. Maybe the villain was kind of a little one-dimensional, but it wasn't really about the villain. It was really about the heroes of the story. So I was okay with him being kind of one-dimensional. He didn't have no real personality besides asshole.
Yeah.
And
he never turned it off once.
No, he didn't have any, except maybe that little part at the end. Right. We'll get to there.
Right.
Other than that, to me, this movie is flawless besides that one little aspect, but it doesn't hinder the movie at all to me. What's your grade for this movie, Michael?
I'm also giving this a solid A, and here's why. One of my biggest things about this movie is, it appeals to people who keep up with pop culture and just other dorky stuff like video games and certain books or whatever. It appeals a lot to them. This movie, even though it was about finding an Easter egg, this movie had a countless amount of Easter eggs in it. And I just think a lot of things about it, every other scene you might see something familiar. I was just pointing out things, some out loud, some not out loud, maybe obnoxiously to Shanique while we're in the theater. But I digress. But it's cool to just see things every 2.5 seconds. Oh, that's kind of cool. And to be honest, my favorite parts of the movie were in the virtual world. Don't get me wrong.
Most of the movie was.
I'd say that yes to that as well. But there were certain story aspects that depended on the real world.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So I'm just saying as far as the virtual world goes, they did a really good job creating it. It's believable.
For that technology.
Yeah, considering that these guys are in shacks and trailers playing this, this freaking world looks great. So credit to James Halliday. Listen, man, apparently the guy would have been young right about now. So maybe he already exists and we just don't even know it.
Okay, before we get into this, would you want to go to Oasis?
I would love to go to the Oasis. There's apparently real money to be made in the Oasis.
That's true, but you can also lose your fortune.
I'm okay with that. I'll take that risk. I'll roll those dice.
But you need bills to pay.
I'll go to the Oasis, make my money the right way, and pay my bills. Some people do that. There's a character in the game who we just don't even know how rich he is. Like he's the only like character in the whole movie. We're gonna get to him. I don't want to any spoilers, but yeah, my grade's an A. It's dorky. It's good. It's a fun movie. There were some like predictable elements to it, but that was okay. It was predictable and delivered in a very tasteful way, which I didn't even mind. There's one moment that made me like roll my eyes because it's just like teen love tropes and cliches were included in this movie, but it didn't take away from the movie. The movie pretty much like progressed in a very good way to make me enjoy it.
Yeah, and another thing, this movie, it had a lot of gaming aspects, but I think people who are not into games can enjoy it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think you enjoy it even more if you love to play video games. Right, exactly. Yeah.
Or even know about certain movies too,
like cartoons.
Right, cartoons, movies, comic books.
Yeah.
Entertainment media outside of just movies. Actually all of them. Actually, now I think.
Yeah, like all medias, but specifically, I think video games and comic books.
I agree.
Those two. If you're really into that, I think you're gonna enjoy the movie even more.
I agree.
So as of right now, we're about to get into the spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled about the movie, which I say go see it, stop and then come back. Otherwise, if you don't care, keep going. Because we're going to do it anyway.
Feel free to hit pause, guys.
Spoilers.
We'll wait.
No, we won't.
We won't wait.
I was about to say, don't lie to them. All right. So, my favorite character of this movie is Artemis.
Okay.
And I actually have two. Artemis and H. So, here's why I love Artemis. She is badass in the real world and in the game. And she's smart about everything she did. First of all, when she ran the first race, that was her best scene in the virtual world. In the real world, I think her bravery when she broke out of the whole locker thing and all that stuff, that was really good. I liked how, after she suffered that tragedy in her life, she was like, you know what? I'm not going to give up. I'm going to fight against this, and I'm going to do what I have to do. Without her, Wade is dead.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
Very much dead. Because he was dumb. But he eventually got wiser. So he's like all the High Five clan. They've eventually become a clan at the end. I like every last one of them. Real and virtual.
Yeah.
And then H is second. Which she's, if anyone watches Master of None, she's the lead female in that whole series. And she wrote The Shy. And I think she's also writing some other stuff as well. And I think she recently won an Oscar or something. I don't remember her name. I think it's Leanne something, but I'll think of it later. She's really good, and I like that her avatar is a dude. An alien dude on top of that.
Alien, robot, giant motherfucker.
And she's just as smart in the real world as she is in the virtual world. Because in the virtual world, she can build anything.
Right.
And I don't know how much money she has in the virtual world, but she has her own bar, she has her own shop, everyone comes to her. And in the real world, she sets up her own thing so they can go into the Oasis, and she really had Wade's back. So I personally enjoyed those two characters most. And then I have to pick a number 3. My 11-year-old. He got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like him purely in fact that he's 11 doing all this. Because I do like Wade, but he was getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
Low key, I don't think Wade has a real character without the other ones. I think that all the other people in the clan, Artemis, H, Show, I can never say his real name.
Toshiro
Toshiro, yes.
But his name was Daito in the game.
Yeah. All of them have actual characters, even for the short amount of time we see them, versus Wade, who is very reactionary to everything. But for this type of movie, you need that in a main character, so I didn't have a problem with it. Like, even though the only bad acting moment I would say from Wade was when he was fronting the guy and he's like, "Oh, you killed my mother's sister." Nigga, just say your aunt. Like, I didn't understand. And he didn't even say awkward. And he didn't even say like he cared. He was just like, "Yo, you killed my mother's sister." Waving my fake gun around.
Right.
And all this stuff. Like, nah. But that's the only moment I was like, little cringe. But overall, because he had a good supporting cast, it was fine that he was the lead. But yeah, the two women did their thing. Do you have two characters that you like, or just one?
Honestly, I'm just gonna go with the same thing you went with the high five. Like, I don't really have. Honestly, it'd probably just be Wade because, like, I think he played the hero role very well. Like, everything I didn't like about him, I feel like that was on purpose because, like, they got to show, like, growth. Like, okay, he's gonna do some stupid things like fall in love and, like, Shanique is looking at me like I'm wrong for this, but no, this is where I mentioned I rolled my eyes. Like, there's very.
Why is it stupid that he fell in love?
Because his timing was horrible and like.
Okay, I'll give you the stupid for him saying his real name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But she liked him too, but she was. You know what? My character was smart. It didn't use her real fucking name. Just saying.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I get that. This is what I'm not saying. Like, he had to make mistakes in order to become like a better hero for the story here, and he played a hero role very well. Honestly, too, the guy's pretty smart. Like, he honestly was there figuring out the first two, I believe.
Yeah, he
clues for the game. There's, we got to mention this. There's three. Sorry.
He did figure out the third one too. How to actually beat the third one.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, they figured out how to get to the third key. The bad guys called IOI. Innovative. Shoot, I'm forgetting their names. IOI. Anyways, like, they figured out where the third key was. Like, they had a hard time accessing it, but Wade did figure out the first two. And
yes.
One thing I do want to say though, that opening race was everything.
So I'm gonna guess before we get there. One thing we forgot to mention, so part of the plot, even though it's in the trailer, is that to get to the Easter egg, you have to do 3 challenges to get 3 keys. And the first challenge is the race, which is the perfect way to break this podcast up. So the race. That's bullshit. I want to play it, but I'm going to be mad while playing it.
Oh, yeah. There's
Kong, there's dinosaurs.
Right, you're meant to lose. That the track is like reshaping itself. There's like wrecking balls everywhere.
It drops you in the train station randomly.
Right.
That's why I told Michael this. If I was playing this, I would play in a motorcycle.
I wouldn't.
Well, okay, what would your ideal car? Because I didn't hear it.
Probably Wade's car to be on. Wade's car was fine, to be honest.
Nah. See, it kind of works. My favorite character used the motorcycle. Yours used the car.
Yeah, I mean, he was driving like a souped-up DeLorean from Back to the Future. That shit was great.
But here's why I say motorcycle. Maybe you'll disagree. I say motorcycle because you can squeeze in the tight places. A lot of the times, her motorcycle kept her from being squished. Now, though, points to your car, you have more control in the car than in the motorcycle. I'll give you that.
You can probably also take a little bit harder hits too. Like, but
I'm gonna be too fast. You're not hitting me.
You're bumping up against. I mean, she wasn't even in first place for the whole race. Like, no matter what you're gonna do, it's like, let's call it like 50 odd people in a race, maybe more, and they're all bumping up against each other, like all form for like booby traps and getting thrown into each other against their wheels.
She was second. Wade got there first. I'll give you that. But even though I can't even say Wade survived the race. He didn't really win because a lot of the booby traps is what killed most of those people. Also, when you die, you explode into coins, and then you can steal it.
Oh yeah.
And I thought that's probably one of the coolest moments for the character is when he's like driving and he don't have like much gas left, so he's like stealing the coins so he could charge. Yeah,
right.
I thought that was pretty cool. But still, I would still use the motorcycle. I thought you was a monster truck or something.
I like getting hit and not being like the only thing to throw me off my bike. Because you get off the bike and get hit by somebody else, it's a wrap. And I don't know. If I'm in a car, I can at least get hit by like the debris or some shit.
You know what's funny? When you started that sentence, I was like, you like getting hit? Because like you took a break.
Context.
Like you paused. fuck.
If I'm getting hit, I just want to make sure I'm going to stay in my vehicle. That's it.
That's true. I'll give you that. It's more risk to use a motorcycle, but I think it has all the same disadvantages that I have. Maybe your car has the same advantage I have, the same advantages that the motorcycle have. Your car doesn't.
Sure.
So it depends on how you drive.
You gotta have the skill. Yep.
Exactly.
You know what's sad? She never used that bike again for the rest of the movie.
We ain't need that bike after the first time.
I mean, they were kind of cool. I mean, like
Her bike was cool.
Considering how the story went along, though, she had no choice but to not use her bike. Cause we'll get to it though.
Yeah. So that first race, that's a great opening sequence. It was really good to introduce the Oasis that way.
The Oasis, the whole thing with the keys, right?
The only thing that pissed me off, did y'all really have to bring in Kong?
Yeah, Kong was a little OP for that race. I'm like, this guy is going up against 30 different races and managed to throw them all out himself with a freaking Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I know. First of all, the OD part was, okay, I liked how the race just appeared in front of them, right? Which they talked about someone accidentally finding it. They didn't even find it on purpose. Right. And then it just opened up. But what happened was, it drops there. They're just magically inserting dinosaurs into there. And then you think you're fine once you get past the dinosaurs, the trains, the other cars. And then big ass King Kong.
Oh, yeah.
Shows up, jumps off a building onto the track. And then, at the end of the track, this nigga still has the nerve to destroy the road. And you think you're done. But you know what happened? He grabs your vehicle while you're about to cross. And crushes you. That would piss me off so bad.
They don't want you to win.
I see why all the people quit besides the people who wanted the egg.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That's not fun after a while because you lose real money.
Yeah.
I would play it like 2 times.
When you die in the game, you use all your progress. Like, I didn't realize how big a deal it was until like the very end, where like the guy was talking about losing like 10 years worth of loot, and I was like, damn! If you die once, like you lose your level, your weapons, your money, your progress, everything. And I'm like, there's a lot of risk to do. But then again, the Oasis was built in a way that you're not supposed to put yourself at risk that often. Like you can just go clubbing, skiing, and all that kind of stuff. Like you don't necessarily have to die if you play the game, or do something dangerous if you play the game. You can just go there to relax.
It's funny how you say that's when you realize it was a big deal. Niggas were jumping out of buildings in the movie.
Oh yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, it don't matter. They just kill themselves.
There's only been for it. Oh yeah, no, you're talking about the guy who's like getting mad at himself. Oh right. He died in the game.
Like he died in the game and was like, nah, fuck this. I'm jumping out the window.
Right.
Out of a skyscraper. That's when I knew.
That was a very good example of how to I give the movie credit for putting that in there. Like this showed how serious it was if you lose your shit. Cause then you can just jump out of a window and say, yo, fuck this, yo, all my progress is done, all my money is gone. Probably Bill's probably gonna get caught up now and whatnot. So
yeah, and the bill collectors in this game, this world, not a joke.
You pretty much are a slave for them at that point.
Yeah, but the next, so part of also getting through the challenges is figuring out the creator's memories. Mm-hmm. You gotta look at his memories, and this guy, he was very weird, but he built a library dedicated to himself, where you had to read his memories and stuff. Well, not read, listen and watch his memories and pick up clues. Mm-hmm. And I love that aspect of it because I was like, man, I would totally lose this because I wouldn't be able to. I would literally have to study this person, just to get out this game. So I would not even be a Easter egg chaser. I would literally just be having fun.
Mm-hmm. Go surfboarding or something like that.
Maybe do Planet Doom to earn some quick money.
That's how you die, though.
No, I would kill a nigga then leave.
Kill one? How you know they're not gonna kill you first?
I'm killing one and leaving. Yo, he doubting my skill.
I'm killing one and I'm quitting. That's it. That's the worst kind of play to find online? Like, just comes in, kill one person, grab their loot and leave. Like, don't be a camper. Come on now.
Of course. Okay, let's put it this way. If me and you were playing GTA Online, I'm killing him.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm finding him. I'm killing him, taking his money, and then I'm signing off.
Word.
You would never talk.
I'm gonna be one of those gamers who find you in real life. Like, yo, you just gonna run away? Where round 2 at?
I I'm just socking him randomly on the street. I did that a couple times.
The worst part is that's how GTA really works sometimes. But this ain't that kind of podcast. That's fine.
No, but seriously, I would play maybe Planet Doom, or I wouldn't try the casino. The one they had a casino the size of a planet on there. I wouldn't try that. But I definitely would be careful with my money, especially if it's tied to my real money. Because you could be balling or you could be broke as hell playing that game.
Oh yeah,
like
you're 1 of the 2, right?
Yeah, but the next key after you win the key to winning the race is to run it backwards.
Oh right, yeah. Then you go under the entire map and go right to the finish line, skip Kong and everything.
Oh, if I was like all those racers and I found out, I'd be like,
I feel like there should have been at least one person who thought about that already. Because it's been years since the guy died. Not one person thought, let me just throw my car in reverse real quick.
Well, you know why?
Just to fuck around with the map, you know?
You know why I think no one thought of that? Because they didn't think like him. Because he was very eccentric. Mm-hmm. And they didn't think that. They thought probably if they try to go backwards, there would be a trap there.
Yeah, it's in the wall, if anything.
Especially if the race was as fucked up as it was.
Right.
So, and also you died during that race. But that's why I didn't think anyone thought of that. But, Wade, like, he got lucky, he listened, and then he saw it and he went backwards. And that's the way to win. And I thought his avatar looked like the dude from The Hobbit, but mixed with Dumbledore.
Weird.
But I thought,
Is that about Gandalf?
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I liked every time you saw him. I thought that was pretty cool every time they won the challenges. Even though they were grabbing those keys hella slow. But we'll get into that, because that part pissed me off at the end.
One thing I will say, since we're moving on, the second challenge is a pretty fun challenge to watch. It references a lot to The Shining.
Yeah, that's a whole,
which is a Stephen King movie, which is very popular, probably his most popular movie.
That's where H became my favorite character.
This is like, I've never seen The Shining, but like this made me not want to watch The Shining. I was like, fuck this movie. But I think it was so cool how the players approached this though. Like H with this I think this was like H's like one of H's shining moment in the movie.
Yeah.
Even though like there wasn't much going on for them for her, him, whatever. For like as far as bravery goes, like she was scared the entire time. But it was entertaining to watch though. Because she just reacting to all of these crazy shit things going on.
She never seen The Shining.
And like she was warned. She was like, "Yo, have you ever seen The Shining? Because you might want to stick with us."
I know, because the other guy was like, "I never watched The Shining."
I like watched through my hands, right?
And like, okay, so basically they had to figure out the road not taken. That was basically the clue. Because you get a clue for the next challenge, and they was like the clue was basically he took a girl on a date, right? And he didn't kiss her. So he's like, "Okay, we got to go to the movies." And I forgot how they tied it into The Shining, but they figure out, oh, The Shining must be it. So let's do this, right? And it starts probably one of the funniest sequences ever.
Yeah.
Where H, being too nice, she like sees the freaky twins. If you ever watch The Shining, stupid enough to press the elevator for the twins. I'm like, okay, I don't care if you never watched The Shining. If you see kids randomly in the hallway that you know were not there when you got there,
go in the exact opposite direction.
Don't go towards them. Don't talk to them.
Right.
Don't alert them of your presence. Like, that's like horror movie #1 rule.
Right.
Kids randomly in hallways. Or abandoned buildings, or buildings where it's only you and your friends.
Or if you're driving like in the middle of the night in the dark with no like well lit area,
run them
and you see like a random kid in the road just holding their teddy bear, like floor it.
Exactly. You don't go in their direction. Or if you in a car, just go through them.
Right.
Something.
That's my plan too.
You do not stop. But H did the opposite. H was like, "Hey, what's up?" They clicked the bell, and then a bunch of
the way out.
Then a bunch of blood started happening, and H went everywhere, and then he ended up in 237, where he saw this naked woman who turned into a zombie and attacked him
with a knife, right?
A knife, and then some knife-wielding one, not a knife, an axe-wielding zombie came out of nowhere.
Like
H had a really bad sequence where they were just being attacked, and they didn't know what to.
I'd take my helmet off. Gotta get out the Oasis for a couple of days. I need to breathe. Like, guys, I went through a lot just a while ago.
It was like Outlast,
and
but in a movie theater.
Right.
It really was.
That would be a good movie too, yo.
That would. I wouldn't play. I would watch that though. I would watch Outlast, even though I probably know what happened. I watched you play it.
And you know, just thinking. That's exactly. I just realized you made me play it. You didn't get to play it yet.
I can't play those type of games. I can't play first person games, guys. I get like vertigo. It's bad.
You can't play Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider ain't first person.
First person and like
shaking camera.
Yeah. Anything it makes me dizzy as hell, and then I'm dizzy the rest of the day. Michael has witnessed firsthand. It's just I don't know, can't do it. If I play those type of games, I'll play it hella slow.
Mm-hmm.
Cause then I gotta play it till I'm about to get sick, and then can't do it no more.
All the day.
Yeah. So it'll be a while. But yeah, Outlast. It's basically Outlast in a movie theater, and only H could fight back for the most part. And then I like how H ended up in this ice place, and then it would turn out to just be like the freezer.
Giant maze. Oh, yes, right.
A giant maze inside a freezer.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty cool. And then Artemis and Percival, which is Wade's avatar name, pulls them out and says, "You never watched The Shining?" And then it's like, "We gotta go in that room." He's like, No, you don't want to go in the room.
Mm-hmm.
There's a zombie lady in there who
like
attacked
a zombie
me.
lady with a knife, right?
I thought that was a shining moment.
Ha ha ha!
I'm serious. Besides the end, I thought that was one of the shining moments for H. I thought
no, it's because it's saying shining moments, and I'm like, wow.
I missed my own joke.
Pun just went over her own head.
I know, right? But that is a cool sequence, and then basically it ends with like, you know, they finally asked the girl to dance.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they got the key. I thought that was cool. So what do you think of that whole sequence?
Oh wow, I gotta talk about it now. I was literally with you the entire time for the explanation, but yeah, I thought it was really cool. They made it look scary. They showed that the Oasis can be a crazy place, because granted this one was based after a movie. I feel like maybe there's parts of the Oasis that are that weird too. So I just gotta think to myself, maybe there's parts of it that we don't want to explore. Maybe you don't want to rent the wrong movie in the Oasis and go through it. Like what if you rent Nightmare on Elm Street or Jeepers Creepers or Deep Blue Sea or something like that.
First of all, if I know that I'm going to actually be put in the movie, I'm not renting it.
Right.
I'm not doing that at all. Let's get this out the way. What do you think of Artemis and Wade's relationship throughout the movie?
Like I said, eye roll at the beginning. And to be honest, I roll at the end too. But it was played by teenagers, and it's so cliche these days that it's kind of just forced to exist. But cliche. That's my summary for it, because I didn't really feel anything for it. I didn't really feel no real connection going on. It was there for the movie's sake because they're teenagers, and I'm like,
are they teenagers? Because Artemis look kind of old.
I'd say they're teenagers.
To me, they had to be 18 and up. Like I didn't see. I mean, besides show and shit. But I feel like Wade and Artemis had to be 18 and up. I can't imagine them being 16 or 15.
I can, but that's fair. There's no confirmation of what their age was, so.
Yeah, and part of me maybe it's because they kept calling them kids.
Mm-hmm. But
a lot of older generation calls you a kid until you're 40 sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. They didn't seem like teenagers to me. But here's the thing. I thought for a long time, I knew she liked him because of the whole club dance scene, I thought that was a cool scene, even though he fucked up. If you hear that, my bad, guys. But for me, I think Wade fell hella more quick than Artemis did.
Oh yeah.
Because Artemis had a goal in mind. She wasn't about that.
A pretty legitimate one too. So it's kind of like, yo, I just told you about this whole dark reason I'm playing the game, and you're gonna be here I'm in love. Come on, yo.
Yeah.
Actually, I think she told shit afterwards, but either ways, it didn't change his mind.
Yeah. Hey, he was determined to get his woman. All right. But I thought their relationship was kind of sweet, and I could see why she won him at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because, she saw that he was smart, 2, he was brave, 3, he was willing to risk everything for her. So I get why she won him at the end, but she definitely fell for him later in the movie. Definitely not the beginning. I thought the relationship was sweet. They could have easily wrote that relationship as like a best friend type of deal, and the movie still would have worked. So I'm neither here or there. I don't think it ruined the movie per se. I think it was used as a catalyst for Wade to also care a little bit more about like what the hell is going on with these challenges and all this stuff. So I think it was a good anchor, but it wasn't like the forefront, and that made it okay for me. If the relationship overshadowed the main goal of the plot, then I would have been like, I don't like this. Can't be ruining the movie like this. So what do you think about the scene where Wade, since I know you hated this part, where Wade was stupid enough to say his real name?
Oh wow! I already told you about. I already told you what I felt about the scene. Like, this is probably my lowest point for the movie, because like, I don't know. As a general security thing, even like now when you're not playing like VR online games, like you just play online games regularly. I'm not putting my real name out there in the world. To be honest, it's probably not that hard to find. On depending on what kind of like settings you have on your online games these days. But it's like it's online 101. Don't say your real name. No matter how important or not important you are, people can make your life hell just from getting, some kind of clue about who you are, where you are, what you do, etc., 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 some kind of detail. Now, Wade doing this right here was like, you are the most important person in the Oasis right now. Because this is after he won the first challenge.
One, yeah.
And they're trying to solve the second challenge, so they went to the club to do this whole leap thing. And then I think, and this is probably part Artemis' fault, but she was really flirty that night. She was like, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't see them as being a friend. Like, she's being real flirty right now. She probably gave me some kind of signs. And Wade.
You could have kissed her instead of saying the name.
He could have. And that would have been a lot better, because at this point he's also being followed by this. What the hell was his name?
Okay, it was a dude with like a skull chest. Like
we never got his name, did we? Unless we just missed it.
They just said it one time, but this guy, his chest was like a skull, and he was basically like a henchman from the bad guy.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, he was pretty funny, and I'm like, we don't know too much about him. Like, we don't even know anything about his real life body, real life character or whatever. Okay, I guess he was there, but he was funny though. I'll give him that much. Yeah. Wade, like I said, he was following Wade around, and he listened in on Wade saying his real name. And I'll give Artemis credit right here. She immediately knew he was a dumbass for saying his real name. So I'm glad she at least called him out on that, and like gave him this whole thing about my dad dying in the loyalty centers because he lost money in the Oasis and all this stuff.
Yeah, you know what? Artemis was trying to help him out. He didn't understand how serious it was until that moment, because.
But still, while he didn't even still didn't get it, because like while he's getting shot at, because they end up getting ambushed. While he's getting shot at, he keeps pushing this point about "I love you," and she's like, "Yo, we're getting shot at. Like, read your audience right now, yo. Read your environment. This is not the time to profess your love, or keep professing your love after how shocked I was that you freaking said it and told you that it's not a thing I'm really aiming for right now."
She didn't even say she wasn't looking for love. She was just like, dude, we're getting shot at.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now's not the time.
Right.
Plus, you don't even know what I really look like.
Right.
And she was, I think mostly part of the reason she was saying that is because she was, in real life, she has a scar from like a burn that happened.
It's just a birthmark, actually.
A birthmark?
Yeah.
She has a birthmark across her face. And so it makes her a little self-conscious about her looks. So she's like, you don't want this, even though most people look past the birthmark. She still looked really beautiful with the birthmark.
My thing is, freaking H was like, yo, you don't know nothing about this person. Because like, in the online world where this happens it's like a weird version of catfish, where it's like you fall for someone online who's like a male character, and then you meet them in real life and they're like a female character, or vice versa. And I'm like,
that's true. Like, online, I play this basketball game. I'm a dude.
Yep.
He was like, "Why you a dude?" I'm like, "Cause I want to be."
I just gave up on trying to find that logic, but whatever. You see what I'm trying to say here, though. Like in a world like this, it's like don't fall in love without ever like seeing somebody's face. You fall in love with a body, with an image and a voice that was like altered to play online games. Like you can literally in the Oasis, you can literally look like whatever you want to look like. There's guys walking around like freaking Ninja Turtles, and I'm like, really, yo? Like, how are you gonna fall in love with someone like that, regardless of how much close connection you got?
Personality, man. Personality. Yo, he's giving me the side eye.
Bruh.
I'm serious.
Bruh.
Personality. That's what he fell in love with. Her personality.
If her avatar was something else, I highly doubt that would have still worked.
He showed interest before he saw her face. Because he heard about all the shit she was doing. Just saying. Now, I agree. The fact that her avatar looked the way she looked was a bonus, but he was already interested in her because of all the stuff.
But it wasn't a love thing though. He fell in love with her because one, how good she was at video games, obviously, because she was doing the whole race thing with him and would have been second place. But two, because of the whole club scene. I feel like the whole club scene was like his catalyst to be like, oh man, I gotta say something. My heart beating. Like there was a point where H was like looking at his heartbeat and her heartbeat. She was extra calm at 60 beats per minute or something like that. And his is racing like he's on a freaking Olympic track and field race, something like that. He's like going off like 160. And I'm like, dog, y'all not on the same wavelength right now. Like this is
no, she was very much focused on task at hand for a lot of it until like later. I think for her, what made her fall for Artemis, she fell in love with Wade when he came to save her. I feel like because she didn't expect him to.
Right.
She sounded so surprised that he did. I'm like, really though, really? All this time you see him following you around? Of course he would. Of course he would.
Right.
But
he's the hero of the story. You know he don't know. Anyway, she don't know that.
She don't know that. But yeah, she was very surprised, and I think that's what made her fall in love. Also, probably the fact that in the real world, because Wade's stupid. He says his name, which eventually leads to them finding the identity. Which they offer him a deal saying, hey, win this and we'll pay you this amount of money. Which, first of all, was a ripoff. I wouldn't have took that money anyway. How you going to tell me you'll pay me $20 million when the shit I'm looking for is worth half
a trillion dollars, actually.
That is $500 billion.
Yep.
But you're not even giving me $1 billion. You're giving me $20 million. No, I'm not taking that. So I get why he said no. That was a ripoff from day one. Oh, salary's $4 million. I'm still not making anything close to if I just found it on my own.
Right.
And I own the Oasis. No, I'm not taking that deal at all.
I'm good for every other generation that comes after me. That's how rich you are. No matter what the future generation decide to do, unless they decide to cash all your money out and just set it all on fire, you're going to be rich through every generation. No generation in your family will ever have to work again. They'll be born and never work. That's how much money that is.
That's basically it. So that was a stupid offer. But then the guy, they called him Nolan in the Oasis, so I'm gonna call him Nolan, even though I know he has a last name.
Yeah.
But Nolan, the leader of
IOI,
offers him the deal. Wade says no. So Nolan's like, oh, I'm just gonna blow up your house. Psych. Guess what happens? When he goes into the Oasis, he doesn't do it from there.
He's not at home, right?
So he ends up killing his family instead. Well, the aunt
and the shitty boyfriend, right?
The boyfriend was so stupid. If someone calls you and they're frantic, give the phone to the other person. He's like, oh, well, I don't want to hear your voice again. And the aunt was stupid too. Why you letting your man talk to your nephew like that?
Well, he never got to talk to him again, so there's always that.
Well, hey, he was right. Hey, situational irony.
Right. True.
Basically that happens, and then he gets taken to the rebellion.
Right.
Where he finally meets Artemis' real face. And because the guy that takes Wade to the real place, to the rebellion, has a stupid ass tattoo on his face. They're able to use face recognition software
From drones, apparently.
from drones. A lot of fucking drones in this movie.
Yeah, we were a lot of drones in this movie.
I felt like I was watching a little bit of Watch Dogs because it looks exactly like the drone I have in that movie. Okay, but finds them and attacks it, and then Artemis gets captured by sacrificing herself away. Because she's about the goal at hand, which is why she's my favorite. And then that leads to... What do you think about the whole sequence where they were rescuing Artemis and you finally meet the rest of the team?
I thought the one thing that they did with with Nolan's chair, I thought that was pretty cool. That they made him think that he was already logged out.
Yeah.
I thought that scene was pretty slick. It did give us a little idea about what was going on inside of the loyalty centers. Pretty much, you're a slave and you're paying back your debts through the Oasis, which is how I know that you're definitely making real money there. But it's a little bit scary. Like, this is literally slavery.
How did they get away with the loyalty centers, though?
I think it's just like a contract thing. I don't know how it's getting back, actually it being legal, but I'm pretty sure there's like some kind of contract thing they're using for like the story to just say, hey, you owe way too much money. You're a slave now. Go do some mining or plant bombs or some shit.
Yeah, that's what the bill collectors did in this universe. They were like, oh, you owe money? Well, hey, you're going to be a slave. You're going to live, eat, breathe here, and you're going to be a slave in the Oasis and do whatever we say.
Right.
And then we're going to raise your rent so you can't go where. So once you go to the loyalty centers, you're done.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
But yeah, I thought that whole sequence where they saved it was pretty cool because I like actually seeing the real people behind the Avatar. Obviously, Show ended up being like a little boy. I thought that was pretty cool. The only one who I thought matches his avatar was the Asian guy.
Toshiro or Daito, girl.
Daito, yes. He matched his avatar to me. Not in physique, but like personality. I don't think anyone, and then Show, was pretty cool too. Yeah,
his real life self was really interesting. I thought, granted, they're the two least fleshed out main characters in the movie.
Yeah.
But like, for the small amount of parts that they did have, they did a good enough job standing out. Like, Sho was like this little kid with like a kind of an ego because he's such a badass.
Yep.
And Daito, he was pretty much calm and collected, but like, he held things down. Like, he had this real good scene at the very end, which I really liked. So
of course he liked it because you build these, right?
Yep.
Nice. Even though they're, ghetto Transformers. Oh!
She did that. Here's how I know she's shady. She did that and immediately looked at me. That was not for the podcast, guys. That was literally just for me because she wants to be shady tonight. Whatever.
Come on, guys. Everyone knows that Gundam is ghetto Transformers.
No. I don't know which one came out first. I think Gundam did, but whatever.
No one cares about Gundam. Everyone's about Transformers.
Yeah. What? Gundam probably came out first, though.
What makes more money? Anyway.
Probably Gundams.
No.
Probably Gundams.
No. Transformers all day, every day.
Sure. Movie, girl. Again, stop being so shady. You can't talk about the movie, man.
I'm not being shady at all. I'm just saying.
Shade. Throwing whole trees at me.
I'm stating that.
Not even shade. Just a whole tree with the shade under it.
Okay. So basically, I enjoyed the whole rescue of Artemis. Obviously, there were some points where they got really fucking lucky.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like when she was hiding behind the thing, Michael's like, "How the fuck he don't see her?" I'm like, from his angle, he probably just sees the chair.
But my thing is like 4 other guys walked in with him too. I'm like,
but none of them are looking at the chair, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, there should be some cameras in there too.
Yeah, the villain was low key stupid at point 2. Because he was cocky, didn't think that anyone could touch him. And also, IOI, they had a whole, room dedicated to figuring out the clues. And they would probably
hired, like scientists and shit.
And this is 5 years after the dude died. So, the 5 years, they were hiring people to literally beat this game. And only one girl actually knew what she was doing, but she figured out stuff too late.
I kind of wish they fleshed that girl out because the way that they focused on her for a little bit, I thought she was actually like a character in the story.
We haven't found her name either.
Exactly.
She's just one of the people that
I figured since she had red hair that she was kind of like related to Artemis or something like that, but I never ended up being the case. They never really followed up about what that girl was.
Yeah, I don't know. But they have a bunch of like these virtual reality machines that allow their whole army to come into the game and play as well. So they literally hire people to play the game too.
Right.
Not only figure out the clues, but play the game. So they're cheating, essentially,
right,
to get this. But they're also, you know, $1 million company.
Probably $1 billion, to be honest.
Billion.
Yeah.
It looked hella high tech. For a world that's kind of apocalyptic, they got a lot of shit.
Yeah, kind of true.
Like, the way these people are living versus, like, maintaining the oasis, someone's got to be doing that.
Right.
Because any video game has patches, updates, and stuff like that. And especially how big this world is, someone's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have all this electricity, electronics to, like, go into the virtual. Even the poorest people can have those damn virtual things. So, like, they have all this stuff, but can't live in they have to live in slums. That's kind of weird to me, but
if that's the case, I think Halliday might actually, you know, ruin the actual world's economy that way. Like, congratulations, we can't use real world economy now because all the, you know, resources are being put into your game to make people, you know, able to play your game.
Well, I know
live there and stuff. I'm like,
they did. The guy mentioned there was like 2 wars as well.
Yeah.
Probably something civil or something that happened that like basically made the place the way it was. But I just thought that was weird. I'm like, if I'm like in a world where like we ain't really got jobs, food is scarce, but we got time to go into like a giant virtual world, that seems a little bit misplaced.
Right.
Like we can use all the money we have that to like, you know,
rebuild.
Not even rebuild, maintain, because they're not even maintaining right now.
Yeah.
And like he mentioned, like people stopped trying to save; they just wanted to live each day and survive. But I'm like, you can do that by like, you know, building up your stuff too. But whatever, that's me thinking logically, and this is not what we're about.
Applying logic to a movie like this, yeah, that's kind of a rough state to be in.
Yeah, and then the last scene I want to talk about, the battle, the big climactic.
The last key, right?
Yeah, and that was like a good like 15 minutes of the movie.
From
the real world to the virtual world, back to the real world. And my favorite part is the scene on the actual battlefield when they were fighting the Godzilla.
Yeah, Godzilla was a pretty good enemy for the
when the fake transformer dropped from the
she looked at me immediately again. She is the shadiest one in the room.
But yeah, the guy
Daito.
I can't remember this nigga's name. Like, it's killing me. Daito basically turns into a Gundam and he fights the Godzilla, but he could only be in that
for 2 minutes.
Yeah, for about 2 minutes. Artemis was badass as always. Wade was doing good, and this is when they find out. So basically the third clue, the third challenge was you have to find a secret room in this video game called Adventure, and then you'll get to the last key. And I thought that whole sequence was good. That's my favorite part, and also any scene with the giant in it.
Oh, the Iron Giant, yeah.
Yep. What about you? Favorite? Talk
this
about
is where they started to overload with pop culture references and other video game references. So for me, it was just a game for me to play. There's a game within a game. I'm just like watching the entire battlefield play out. Like, where's this from? Where's that from? Even some of the weapons that they used were from certain video games, and I was like, wow, they had a lot of nerds write this freaking script because there's just like a lot of stuff in there from like Street Fighter, Gears of War, Ninja Turtles, Halo, and I was like, man, this is just a whole nostalgia fight right now. Hell, just seeing Iron Giant earlier on in the movie in H's workshop was kind of cool for me because I was like, wow, you're making Iron Giant relevant again, and it put in work. So I was like, holy shit. I do agree with Shanique though. This the Godzilla fight, Mechagodzilla fight, pretty dope because it took everyone's resource to take it down. It took a Gundam, Iron Giant, Artemis, a couple other things going on. Like it was a pretty good fight. It pretty much like went the way it could have went, to make the audience happy, I suppose. Because everything worked out pretty well. I think outside the Mechagodzilla 2, even the army of IOI guys were like, fighting the army of like, regular players. In the real world, it looks ridiculous. Because guys are like actually running down the street doing backflips and like, holding their fake guns out and shit. And I'm like, wow, you guys are committed. You're running in the street. What if a car hits you while you're trying to like,
Nah, everyone's playing the game. We ain't got time for that.
Boy, what? I got time to make sure I'm not getting hit by a truck. I'm always gonna make time for that. But I was that it played out pretty well. I do like that scene. I do like everything even before that. Back when he used weird like orb shield thing when that got broken down. That one Wade bought like a bunch of weapons in the early part of the movie too,
and all of them came in useful.
Right, which we kind of respect. Like there's like one Rubik's Cube thing he used back in the club scene. He had like this one like giant grenade, and I think Nolan had like, this one bomb that like just kills everything. Like no matter where you are,
including yourself.
Right.
So it starts everyone back at zero.
Right.
Which is kind of fucked up, and it should not be sold in the game.
Boy, I was crazy too. I agree. You should not be selling something like that. You could literally be a terrorist in the game and fuck up the entire economy just by like resetting everyone to zero. Like people are out here making real life work and money and shit, and you're just gonna be like, nah, start over. And I'm like, that's such a dick move.
And technically, at the end, probably Wade was the only one who still had, because also
we skipped it, right?
Yeah, we did skip it, but one important thing, part of the reason they figure out the second clue was that they found this memory, and Wade basically bet the curator / librarian, because that's basically what he is. Hey, he said you're only gonna find one memory where the girl Karen is mentioned. And the guy was like, no, absolutely not. I'll take this bet. And Wade was right, which ended up saving him because he gave him an extra life. And I thought that was really cool. I like that it came back and in. That's one twist I did not see.
I agree. That was a pretty good twist, actually. Yeah.
So I thought that was really good. The whole scene where basically he wins. The whole scene where he wins and gets the last key, I thought was really good. The only part that irritated me was like they're being chased at this point in the real world by this crazy woman, and everyone was like watching him win because part of the creator made it live broadcast when you win. And the part where he's trying to put the key in pissed me off the most. I'm like, nigga, why we gotta go in slow motion? That's when I realized that was just plot convenience, because it don't take that long to put in the key. It don't take that long to grab it. I know this is the climax of the movie. Not even climax, the ending of the movie. But no, that's the only part that irritated me. But I understand. And one thing I would say, I did like the overall ending. I
agree.
I like that they won, obviously. I like that he split up with his clan. He stopped being a loner. He said, I'm gonna have a clan. And I like that he learned something. He learned to like be around people, because he seemed like he was kind of a hermit. He was like, I'm just gonna go to Oasis and do this. We learned to be around people. He got friends in the real world, and he learned to live his life, so he doesn't end up like Holiday. So yeah, I like the ending. What do you think of the whole ending?
I agree with everything you say, so I'm not gonna repeat it. But there's one part that I do like a lot. The actual prize of winning the game was to inherit the Oasis and like $500 billion. So upon using all three keys to get to the final part, he actually says no to the contract because he realized it's not all about like the power and the money. Like it's about like playing the game and enjoying yourself, and the entire process of the whole thing. Which is kind of something they mentioned Halliday made the mistake of doing, because like he made it like into like this business thing where he signed over something to somebody else who kind of just wanted to monetize everything inside the Oasis. So when Parzival said no, he doesn't want to do that, it sort of unlocked this other like Easter egg within the Easter egg where it's like it's weird. Cause like now instead of getting he still got power of the Oasis and the money later on in the movie. But like he also got the power to like completely shut it down with like a red ad with this big ass red button,
which he almost hit.
Right. And then there's this whole moment too with the actual like James Halliday not looking like Gandalf and what's the name? I'm about to say Ganondorf. Gandalf and Dumbledore. Thank you. And like he actually like he like himself, and he was like talking to him with like his younger self in the background, and like just saying like, yo, look at the pureness of me playing this game right now. Like it's not all about going through to get to the very end of the game. It's about like exploring, immersing yourself and having fun. People kind of forgot to do that along the way, and I'm glad you said no to the contract, because I just want to, it's pretty much like a test to make sure you have like a pure heart, essentially.
Yeah.
And I essentially really, really like that part of the movie right there. It did pretty good. It did a pretty satisfying ending, a pretty good twist, and it's the part where like a lot of the characters start showing the most emotion. Like even Nolan ended up showing some emotion for it. Like he had the chance to shoot Wade. And then he didn't, because he realized, yo, you won. You found this beautiful thing. You said no to the contract, yada yada yada. And I'm like, you know what? That was a good ending. Because to be honest, a regular Joe getting to the end would have taken that $1 trillion and signed the shit out of that contract.
I think what made Wade different is he genuinely loved the guy who invented the game.
Mm-hmm. Right, because he knew every little detail about him.
He admired him. This guy was his hero. He wanted to learn everything about him. Not only just to win the game, but because in general, he just loved this dude. That's why he was perfect. Here's the thing. If you sign that contract, do you still win?
They never really tell you what happens if you do that. Like, it's kind of weird though, because he still had the lawyers have him sign real world contracts. On the list anyway, but I just don't know what would happen if he actually signed the one that Gandalf gave him.
Yeah, because he said, "Oh, I just want to make sure." Maybe he would have pushed the button himself.
Maybe, yeah. Because then he realized, all right, maybe everyone in here is selfishness. Just wants it for the contract and the money.
I'm kind of curious. What would happen if they actually signed it? Because I think that was also part of the game.
Yeah, maybe. I agree.
Maybe you don't get the third key if you sign it.
No, you need the third key to get it in the first place, remember?
Yeah, but maybe it's like resets you. Because some games, you get the key, you get in. This other challenge, if you don't beat that, you...
Back to the beginning.
Yes. Not the beginning. Well, hopefully not the beginning. But, gotta start the challenge again.
Right.
So maybe it was one of those things.
Maybe.
Who knows? But he didn't sign it, so he won. He was pure of heart.
Right.
And now he's not poor anymore.
So he got 1/5 of $500 billion. I'm not going to do the fraction math behind it, but I'm assuming it's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's $100 billion. So yeah,
that's 1/10 of $1 trillion. Yeah. 1/5 of $500 billion. Yeah, 1/10 of $50 trillion.
It's $100 billion.
Yep, plenty of money to live off of for eternity.
Unless you buying some crazy ass shit.
Unless you want to just buy islands, it's just strip islands and start up a tiny army, you should be okay.
Yeah, he gonna be alright.
With that kind of money, you can literally start over America. No, not start over, but really make a difference to America's economy. And okay, whatever war you just made it through, James Halliday was clearly rich enough to fix, because he had $500 billion freaking dollars.
I mean, we're in trillions of that, though.
Maybe there's inflation included, but I ain't gonna talk about all that, though.
Yeah, we're not that type of podcast. But overall, my vote is to actually see it, but don't see it in 3D. I don't think it's worth seeing in 3D.
Oh, it's crazy. I actually didn't mind the 3D.
Where was the 3D part?
The blood. That's 3D.
And?
You asked me for one part.
Yo, you know I can't. Yo, no. I would,
Yeah, I'm not saying don't.
If you see it, it's fine.
Right.
But if you don't,
you're not missing much.
Yeah, you don't need to see it in 3D. I did like it in IMAX.
Yeah.
But that's not unnecessary. I think it would be good in no matter what format you see it. So I would definitely see this movie in theaters. I don't think I've said that for a while. Besides.
Yeah, I agree. I think you should see this in theaters.
Yeah, and I think it's worth the trip.
Yeah, I agree. My thoughts exactly, actually.
Alright, so, guys, we want to know what you guys think about this movie. Do you agree with us? Do you think we're crazy? You can let us know by tweeting us at Echo U Podcast. You can also leave comments on all our social media, including YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud, and any podcasting apps. And all of those are under Echo Underground Podcast. And you can even email us at echoundergroundpodcast@gmail.com. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
See ya.
I gotta